Good afternoon, coaches. This is Coach Anthony Williams, founder and CEO of Connected Athletics. We are an Austin-based company based in Austin, Texas. We're focused on creating a platform to help student athletes connect with other student athletes, to also help them connect with college coaches during the recruiting process, and more importantly, to help them successfully transition from high school to college and then either into a pro career in the NFL or into the major for their careers. We've got a special class of 23 prospect with us today from down in San Antonio area. He's an offensive lineman. He goes to Smithson Valley High School, one of the top programs here in the state. As you can see, he's got good size. Colton is listed at 6'8", 325. Just in case anybody had a bad signal, I'm going to repeat that. So it's not a typo. That is, he is 6'8", 325 going to his sophomore year. He's got a great GPA of 4.0. He's academic all district, obviously. He's part of Young Life, which we'll get into later on. Colton Thomasson. Colton, how you doing today?
I'm doing great. How are you, Coach?
Good, I'm great. Thanks for taking time out of your busy day to tell us your story in your own words. We'll jump right into it here. And as we're starting to reopen from COVID-19, tell these coaches what you've been doing to stay in shape during this unprecedented time.
At the start of this whole pandemic, I have a bench rack. So the coaches would send us the workouts, and they were great workouts. And I would do the upper body part, and then I discovered that I could put two of our trash bins together and have two buckets on top and use that as a squat rack. It's kind of dangerous, but I ended up getting some working with it. And then now, as all this stuff's coming up on Monday, Wednesday, Friday, I work out at Circuit Fitness. It's a place up here in Smithson Valley. And on Tuesdays and Thursdays, I go to my teammate's house, Nathan Muchigimba. He's a great offensive lineman, and we just get working together.
Okay. So you've found time to work on your strength, your agility, and your specific technique, footwork, and everything?
So
Good. And I understand, things are going to be opened up here on June the 8th at Smithson Valley. You guys going to start your summer conditioning and team workouts on Monday?
Yes, sir, we are.
Okay. Pretty excited about getting back with your teammates, huh?
Starting to get.
Okay. Well, hey, I want to show your huddle video real quick for coaches that maybe haven't seen it yet, with you being class 23 and obviously with there being a lot of focus on the class 21 and 22. Why don't you commentate to some of these great blocks you're making your freshman year, okay?
Sorry, I'll be honest.
All right, let me share my screen here. And let's hit play. Talk us through these plays, Colton.
So this first play is in San Marcos. They were an amazing team in 5A. They didn't really do good in 6A, and I was the second string, so I was coming in towards the end of the game, and it was 22, and I pancaked them right there. And then here was Pflugerville Hendrickson, another pancake right here with Pflugerville Hendrickson. We ended up beating them 44-14, I believe. They're a very great. They're a very good team. And then here's Madison. It was supposed to be a very close game. We ended up blowing them out 44-0. And this is just this part's some pancakes from that game where I got to go. And here's East Central. They're a pretty good team, and I was just pulling here and trapping them, and we ended up getting some yards on that play. And here's back at San Marcos again. I put this play on here because I thought it was kind of like a blindside-esque play. I had good feet and I kept my pad level low. I just drove it. And this was just kind of a pancake in the end zone play when we scored on homecoming night. This was in my second varsity scrimmage. I picked up that blitz, as you can see on the left side of the screen, and just tossed them down. And here's the first varsity scrimmage. I remember being super nervous for this game. Just toss them down.
Okay. There's a lot of good stuff here. Let me pause it here and come out of it. So obviously you're a freshman on varsity. The couple of things that point out to me in those clips, Colton, is obviously your size. Literally, you're kind of a man child. I'll go ahead and say it. You've got NFL size now, and you're only 15 years old. Talk about the importance you put on your technique and playing with a low pad level in your footwork.
Oh, definitely. If I could show you my helmet for middle school with the shoot stripes, because me trying to learn to get low, it's a huge thing. And in middle school I could get by with it just being so much bigger than everybody else. But once I got up onto the varsity level, that's when I had to start to get low, and it was a process. But I got it. That's something I still need to work on. You know, even though I was getting lower, I still play pretty high, and that's one of my weaknesses that I've been working
Okay. The other thing that jumps out to me when I watch your film many times is you move really good for a big man. I mean, you're pulling, you're pass blocking, you're getting to the second level, your feet are staying wide. Talk about how you work on that part of the game, being such a big guy.
on. I do a lot of agility ladder, you know, and short sprints like 40 yards, and sometimes I run a mile, but most of the time I don't because it's not really necessary for alignment.
Right.
And it's just a process. I mean, right now I'm running a 5.640, and I hope to get it to sub 5 under by my senior year.
Well, Colton, you know, I do a lot of showcases and combines with the All-American game. I can tell you that most coaches don't care about what an offensive lineman runs a 40 in. Start tracking what your 10-yard split is. That's what they want to know. That 10 and 20-yard split is huge for guys, and you obviously run pretty well. So you start making sure that's on your profile so coaches know how quick and agile you are in that 10 to 20-yard space. Because as I said earlier in your video, you know, you get upfield, and you engage in blocks, and you play to the whistle, which is the other thing I respect. We're always teaching young players to play through the whistle, and you do a good job of that. So let's get right into it here. Let's start with the most important thing, your academics. You've got the great 4.0 GPA. Talk to these coaches about the importance that you put on your academics.
It's a student athlete with the emphasis on student, you know. I've always had the expectation by my parents to keep all A's, and then going into high school, I just kept that expectation, and I ended up having a 4.0 and looking to keep a 4.0 throughout high school.
Great. As you've gotten that 4.0, tell us, what are some of your favorite subjects? Are you a math guy, science, English, what?
I really like social studies and math. My dad was a math teacher, and so he helped me out a lot throughout it.
Okay. Do you have an idea of what you might want to major in college, or is it too soon?
Kinesiology, you know, I
Okay.
see how my coaches influence me, and I want to do that by
That's
myself.
awesome. Okay. Tell me, I know you're just finishing your first year in college, in high school, going into your sophomore year. Are there any teachers, advisors, APs that you want to put a shout out to that's helped you maintain your grades?
Um, Mrs. Kirk, when she was my 8th grade English teacher, she helped me out a lot. And then Mrs. Barbero, she was my social studies teacher this year, and she helped me immensely through this. And then my coach, Coach Chuton, he didn't teach me for biology, but that was something I lacked in this year, and he helped me get through it.
Okay, great. Tell us, you know, for those players, you know, I talked to a lot of players, and there's not a lot of them that have the 4.0 GPA. What would you tell other players in your class, or older or younger, on the thing that helps you maintain that 4.0? Is it time management? Is it focus time, extra study time? What do you do as a best practice to maintain your high grades?
I was told at a young age that if you study for 20 minutes a day, you'll be all right. So if I were to tell my peers one thing, it would be that just study. And if you don't understand, either go into tutoring or get with your teammate who knows how to do it and have them help you out.
Great. Okay, I like it. Let's switch back over to you as a player. You mentioned a little bit about it earlier, but let's talk about going into your sophomore year. What do you consider your strengths, and what are some of your weaknesses that you're working on for your sophomore campaign?
Well, my strengths, obviously, I have a great size, and I believe I have good feet and hands. But I really need to work on my pad level. That's the big thing, is just
Right.
being able to stay low.
We didn't see a lot of film of you pass blocking, but tell these coaches, what is your pass blocking mentality? Are you good with your hands? Are you explosive? Do you have a good punch?
Yes, sir. I have a good punch on a pass block. I didn't really get much pass blocking film this year. You know, being a second string, you just go in and run the ball. And
Okay.
I just have the mentality that even though I can't drive you downfield, I'm still going to try to get you on your back.
Okay. Tell us, Colton, when you play against, obviously you're playing against guys who are obviously going to be smaller than you, because I mean, you just have tremendous size. No matter how well you work on your pad level, these guys are going to be smaller and lower. What do you do to change up your technique to make sure you still execute your blocking schemes?
I've had opponents that go against me that are obviously smaller than me, and they get under me, and I step back and get lower with every drive. We do a drill at Smithson Valley every Wednesday where we practice that and just hopping back and getting lower as you're getting rushed like that and someone's under you.
Great. Okay. Tell these coaches, what do you think specifically sets you apart from other linemen in your class?
My work ethic. I'm just going at it every day, and I believe that every day is a opportunity to get better. And I just think obviously all of my peers that are O-line have great work ethic, but I just think I have that work ethic that sets me apart.
Okay, I like it. You're still young. I know it's still early, but I'm sure some coaches have been in contact. Tell us, how your recruiting is going. Who have you heard from? Who do you want to hear from? And what's been your recruiting experience this early on?
I've been on unofficial visits to A&M, Baylor, and the University of Texas, and I've gotten some mail from the University of Michigan. But I'd like to hear from anybody.
Okay.
The opportunity to go to college is a great opportunity.
Okay. I know it's early, but I'll ask, have you set up your criteria of how you'll pick your school? Will it be based on distance from home, scheme, culture, family environment? Do you have that list yet, or is it too soon?
I don't think it's necessarily distance from home. I just think if it feels like home, I like the people around me. If I could have good chemistry with the O-line, that would be a big factor into it.
And I'm curious, I'm sure, a lot of these schools that you had the unofficial visits and camped at last year looked at your size, and I'm sure coaches were surprised at your age. What's been the response when you tell these college coaches, I'm class of 23, I'm 6'8", 325?
Pardon?
What's been the response from the coaches when they find out that you're just a freshman or in the class of 23 when you went to these camps and these unofficial visits?
Lots of, it's like lots of stunned faces. I just go out there and give it my all.
Yeah. And then obviously, I'm sure, seeing you at camp that you kind of went up against guys that were, class of 20, 21. I mean, how are you? What's your competitive spirit like when you go against the older guys?
Oh, I love it. Just the fact that I get to go up against the best at my school, in the state, in the country, especially kids that are older than me and have had more experience than I do. I just love that. I love that part about the game because,
Okay.
Iron sharpens iron. I feel like running with the older kids can get me a lot better.
Awesome. Okay. Tell me, a lot of coaches want to know about your relationship with your high school coaching staff. Tell us about your relationship with your position coach and your head coach at Smithson Valley.
My position coach, Coach Cheaton, is probably one of my favorite people on this earth. We've been staying in touch every day, obviously, just to report to him that I've been getting workouts in. And we visited his house the other day. All of us went to surprise him at his house, because he couldn't see us. So we just went over there and said hi. And he's taught me not only to be like a better athlete, but a better man and a better Christian. And then same thing with my head coach. When I was just out of 8th grade, he gave me a call, said, "Hey, we want to try out with the big boys," and he took me in and he made me a better player.
That's awesome. That's good to hear. Tell me a little bit about your interests outside of school. Do you like to hunt, fish? You like being on the water? What do you like to do when you're not getting ready for football?
I do love to hunt. Whenever it's a season, I'm about it. I don't fish as much, but I also like to do that as well. And I love the lake. I was just up there yesterday, just riding jets, fooling people.
Yeah. And then are you a video game guy? Are you into Madden or 2K or any of the other games out there?
I played lots of Madden, but recently with this pandemic, all of us have been playing more 2K and Call of Duty.
Okay. And then what are some of your favorite apps on your phone? Are you a Twitter, Instagram, TikTok? What do you like to spend time with?
I don't really check my phone that much, but when I do, I'm just checking my Instagram and my
Okay. And then, pregame, big game coming up this fall. What do you listen to? What kind of music, what artists do you listen to get you hyped before a game?
Oh, rap. I have a playlist I call the Pump Mix, and I've listened to it before every game since I was like 10 years old. It's just the same songs get me hyped, and I always listen to Dreams and Nightmares by Meek Mill, and then Lose Yourself by Eminem. Those two songs get me completely locked in before every game.
Okay. Tell us about how you prepare for games on Friday night. Are you a guy that likes to get hype and bang your head against the lockers, or you like to kind of be calm to yourself and kind of going over your assignments in your head?
I'm kind of calm and collected until I get on the field. You know, I'm a big superstition guy. You know, I'm doing stuff the night before the game and waking up, doing stuff the day of the game. But just, I'm calm and collected in the locker room, and then when I get out there, that's when I flip the switch.
Okay, I like it. I think I know the answer to this, but tell these coaches who's going to be involved going over the next couple of years and helping you make your decision on where you'll go to school at.
God and my family.
Okay, I like it. And then let's fast forward. You have a great 3 or 4 years in college, and you are in New York City for the NFL draft. Who is sitting at your table waiting for the commissioner to call your name?
My parents and my grandparents.
All right, I like it. Okay. Tell me, you're a big guy. There's a lot of good linemen, but is there a certain college or pro lineman that you kind of emulate their game into your game?
Recently I've liked watching Tristan Wirf play, but if I had to compare my style to someone else's, it'd be Joe Thomas because he's
Okay. Hall
big,
of Famer. Yeah.
lost a bunch of weight, but he was big, he was fast, and he was aggressive.
Yeah, I got a chance. My oldest son Aaron played for the Buffalo Bills. Just retired recently. And when they played Cleveland, I got a chance to meet Joe. Salt of the earth guy, down to earth, but a tremendous one of the best linemen. And the reason why he's going into the Hall of Fame, obviously, so that's a great choice by you. Tell me, being successful as a student athlete means you have to overcome adversity. Tell these coaches either personally in your life or using in football where you had to overcome some type of adversity.
In football, I've been lucky enough that at least this freshman year, I didn't go through much adversity. But and if I could tell a story about the time I've overcome adversity, it was in eighth grade, and a teacher all of us loved on the basketball team was unfortunately moved. So it was a hard day. Our coach was sad. Our players were sad. None of us really wanted to play going in that game. We were 5-0. The opponent was 4-1, and we just wanted to keep our streak alive. And we ended up coming back from a 20-point deficit and beating them by 20 points.
Okay. So you use something bad in your life, use it to motivate you guys to get a big win. That's good. That's important. Let's talk about the obvious thing here with your size. Let's talk a little bit about your family. Where is this size coming from? Are you going to grow some more? Give us a little background about the size of your family.
Well, my dad is 5'11", so I mean he has decent size. But if I had to find where my size is from, it'd probably be from my mom's side. He's 5'9", so that's kind of tall for a girl. And my uncle is 6'4", like 280. Same with my grandpa. And I really don't think I'll grow much more. So I'm actually trying to focus on leaning out and getting more.
Okay. If I asked you by the time you graduate from Smithson Valley, what do you think your height and weight will be your senior year?
If I am 6'9", 315,
Okay.
that is a job well done.
That's a scary stat right there, man. 6'9", 315, being lean. I mean, that would be nice. That's good to know. Tell me this. When did you start playing football, and when did you fall in love with football?
I'm a coach's kid, and I was always on the sideline for my dad's games, just getting to be a part of it, and just being known as Little T, as the older players called me that. And I've just been in love with the game ever since I was like 4 or 5. But unfortunately, I didn't play tackle football till 6th grade because obviously because of my size,
Right.
I was legal to play for anybody. And then finally, I found the league that didn't have a weight limit, so I ended up playing in there, and I was not very good. My first year of tackle football, I was a little bit better in the second year of football, but 7th grade year, I just decided that I wanted to train to be the best. So I just signed up for a bunch of camps, and I came back 8th grade year a lot better. And, with the help of Coach Teuton this year, I've gotten even better, but I still got a
Okay. All right. Tell me, tell me two life skills you've learned from football in your short career.
long way to go. Loyalty. I've learned loyalty, just being loyal to your team and to your brothers, and I've also learned. Um, I don't know if it's necessarily a life skill, but like the camaraderie of
Yeah.
just being with your brothers. Like, I didn't know anybody going into when I first started out. There was the big boys at our strength and conditioning. But by the end of that season, I would have done anything for any of those seniors. I love every single one of them.
Yeah. Colton, tell us when did you know that football was gonna help pay for your college education? When did you know my game's gonna translate to the college level?
Probably when I start my first ever camp season, when I was, because they would put me with the older dudes just because of my size, and at
Mhm.
first I looked around, but eventually I was able to start beating them. That's when I that's when I started to realize that, hey, maybe I could do this on a bigger level.
Okay. Colton, tell these coaches, how do you define leadership and how do you plan to lead going into your sophomore year?
I believe leadership is the ability to take a situation that isn't so good and make y'all turn out on top. And I was being the freshman on varsity, you don't get much of a say in anything, but I just tried to lead the best I could. And going into this sophomore year, I'm gonna try and be as much of a leader as I can for the O line and for the team. Boot camp, I believe I gained a lot of respect from our boot camp. I'm actually wearing the shirt right now.
Mm-hmm.
I was just going out there and giving the mentality of I'm doing all these forward rolls and jump ropes. So let's go out here and get this perfect day.
Yeah, it's a balance being a big guy who's very good as a sophomore, but still and trying to lead while still respecting your senior class, right? Your upperclassmen. Talk about your relationship with some of those upperclassmen that you talked about earlier.
Oh, definitely. Actually, I'm going to their graduation tonight. The class of 20. Uh, I, I was very close with Taylor Brooks. He was our center this year, and Trey Witcher, who was our standout defensive lineman this year. You might know who he is. And when I most of the time when I went in, it was on PAT. So me and the kicker Joaquin Rodriguez locked.
Mm-hmm.
And now I've just gotten really close with Nate. Like I said earlier, Nathan Muchigimba. He's going to play left guard, and then our left tackle this year, Brian Binka. I've just gotten to know all the junior guys, and gotten really close with them.
Okay, good. Hey, as we start to reopen from COVID-19 and you get a chance to hang out with your friends a little bit more, even kind of graduation or maybe with your girlfriend, are you a big shoe game guy? First, tell us what shoe size you are, and then if you are a big shoe guy.
17, and being a size 17 shoe, there's not much shoe game to play.
Right?
But if anybody that's watching right now has some size 17 shoes that are pretty good, let me know.
Okay, that's good to know. I like that. Tell us, you're in the class 23. I'm sure there are other players on your team or the guys that you know in class 23 that need to be recruited. Tell these coaches who else in your team is somebody that they need to take a look at in the recruiting process.
Um, in my class alone, or just in?
Yeah, well, in general, any class, yeah.
Well, in my class, he's already getting recruited for baseball, but you should definitely look at Ethan Gonzalez, and then Ty Stone. He's like a fullback tackle hybrid. He's really good. And then in my in my class in general, I would definitely look at, or in my team in general, I would definitely look again at Nathan Michigambo and Ryan Binka. And he played running back. He was the freshman on varsity before me, but Darlington Frack, he plays linebacker now. Y'all should look at him. That he's very good.
Well, you've been to a lot of camps. Tell us who is the best prospect or just best player you played against or went up against in one-on-ones that maybe wasn't on your team that you respected their game.
I went up against some really good players at the Under Armour camps. You know, and they don't have high school and middle school together. They're on separate days, and I was looking forward to going to the high school camp this year, but obviously the pandemic happened.
Right.
And just there was some great defensive linemen there. Some
Okay.
All-American game, and then going to that next camp. That there's just some good dudes out there, and then not playing against exactly, but playing with on the O line. You know, Bro LaCroix in Louisiana, Lawan Owens, you might know him. He's
Yep.
from Dallas. Tusi, he's up in Washington.
Yep. Big Tusi, yep.
Tusi, and then Miles McVay, he's in
St. Louis.
St. Louis.
Yep.
And then I haven't gotten the chance to meet this Kenny dude, but he looks pretty good.
Kenny Wayne, yeah. Okay. When you get to know you guys, that's good. Hey, tell me, within your family or outside your family, tell me about who are the most influential people in your life right now.
My mom and my dad. You know, they keep me together, and they make sure that like every move I make on social media has to go through them, so I don't do anything dumb.
Yeah, that's smart. And then going back to your family, Colton, are you only child? Or you have the youngest, the oldest? Where do you sit in the family?
I'm the oldest, and I have a little sister, Carly, who's 11 years old.
Okay. Tell us the importance that you put on being the best big brother you can be to your sister.
Oh, definitely. You know, we're hanging out every night. I'm making sure everything's okay with her. Especially this pandemic, we've gotten to hang out a lot more. And she's going into her 7th grade year, first ever school cheer year. She's big into cheer. She does select cheer, but she's going into her first ever school cheer year. So I know she's excited for that, and I'm excited to see her do it when I can.
Okay. With your size and athletic ability, I mean, Colton, do you play other sports? Do you ever play basketball, baseball, wrestle, track?
I love basketball. I wish I could play in high school, but unfortunately, the schedule doesn't work out because I don't want to miss our boot camp. But I lettered in track this year. I threw the shot and disc, and I was looking to go far this year, but you know, the pandemic happened.
What were your PR? What were your best throws in the shot and the discus? Do you remember?
I believe I got a 47, maybe, and then in disc, I think my best throw was at our own meet, and it was a 145.
Okay, that's good stuff right there. Tell us, how coaches want to know how you learn, how you best learn as a student and as an athlete. Would you consider yourself a verbal learner, visual, or physical?
Definitely physical. You know, we've been doing these Google Meets throughout this whole thing, learning our plays for next year, and I've been learning them good, but I feel like once we get on that field, that's when I'll get them great. But like doing it, that's what really helps me out.
Okay. And then tell us how you define being coachable, and how would you describe yourself as a coachable player?
Being coachable is the ability to take whatever the coach tells you and do it to the best of your ability, and I believe I'm very coachable. You know, I know it's a cliche, but coach tells me to jump, I ask how high. Just I'm doing everything they ask me to do, and I'm doing it to the best of my ability. I'm constantly asking what I can improve on in any area, and just trying to get better every day from it.
Okay, I like it. Tell us why why do you think your game translates to the college level?
What do you mean by that?
there's a lot of kids, and for example, there's a lot of kids in your team at Smithson Valley that would love to play in college, but they don't have the ability, the transcript, or the size, or the athletic ability to do it. Tell these coaches what you think, what part of your game, and why you think your game is definitely going to translate to the college level.
Obviously my size, and I believe my quick feet and aggression will help me get to college. And then just off the field, I believe I have a great leadership mentality, and I work hard every day. And I feel like that's something I could bring to any college team that wants me.
Okay, I like it. As we finish up here, tell me, and tell these coaches, what does life look like for you whenever the game of football is over for you?
Well, when it's over, I don't really think it'll be over because, like I said earlier, I want to major in kinesiology, be a teacher to coach somewhere in Texas, and coach Texas high school football.
Okay.
Because I love how the coaches influence me, and I just want to do that to the future kids along the way.
Okay, I like it. As we finish up here, last question. We talked about an elevator pitch earlier, Colton. Tell these coaches why they should recruit you and what you're going to bring to their program.
Y'all should recruit me because not only will I bring my size and aggression, but I'll also bring, if not one of the hardest work ethics at y'all's program. I will give you my all and then some every day, and I will constantly try to lead the best I can and just do whatever y'all tell me to do.
Okay. Well, good stuff, man. Well, it's good to finally meet you and talk to you and get to know more about you personally. I appreciate the way you told your story in your own words today. I'm sure it's gonna enlighten a lot of college coaches to know you better as you go through the recruiting process. I look forward to seeing you during the fall. If you need anything, Colton, you and your family, reach out to me. I'm a resource to you. And good luck, be safe, and enjoy the upcoming summer workouts.
Yes, sir. Thank you for having me, Coach.
All right, we'll see you soon, Colton. Thanks.